Okay, when it comes to your defensive infantry, there are 3 rules you don't want to mess up. Rule number 1, go with a 16 Rift division. That's 10 infantry battalions on the right side of mass assault. Don't do 7-2s, 44s, or whatever the newest recipe that Tommy K cooked up is. Now, support companies are your toolbox, and what you pick depends on the mess you're dealing with. Red or yellow air, use support AA, tight on supply, logistics, facing tanks, support AT, fighting special forces, artillery, and engineers. It's important to consider that for facing tanks, support AT, you only want to do support AT if you can realistically pierce the enemy tanks. If you can't do that, don't bother. Just use support AA or whatever you want to use. Rule number 3, we are aiming for the highest organization times attack possible. This makes your infantry last longer and gives your team the time to react to whatever is attacking. Offensive infantry is mainly used for battle plans. It should be 36 with all support companies filled out. Field hospitals are uniquely strong for battle plan infantry since the goal here is high HP and attack, so your divisions can push forward, take losses, and keep going. The idea is simple. Wear down your enemy until they run out of equipment and manpower before you do. Special forces include mountaineers, marines, and paratroopers, though paratroopers are usually banned to multiplayer, so don't count on them. Mountaineers have the highest stats per battalion out of all of these, but it's important to keep in mind so that the templates make sense to you. For marines, the goal is to hit 50% amphibious attack. There's no benefit past that point, so once you reach the cap, fill out the rest of the division with either mountaineers or mechanized, depending on what you're going for. Support companies should focus on stacking breakthrough. This is where things like flame tanks and light tank recon come in. Make sure those designs are solid. I will show some good designs in a second. Beyond that, your main goal is HP and attack, just like with offensive infantry. Here you can see some good marine templates. In the first template, one could very well exchange Ranger for light tank recon, and support AT for field hospital, the former being a significant improvement if you can spare the IC. This next one is a Mech Marine. They are a bit out of fashion in multiplayer, but solid nonetheless. The last one is a Mountaineer commonly used in Asia. And as you may have noticed, line artillery hasn't come up for either infantry or special forces. And that's for a reason. It's one of the worst battalions in the entire game, second only to armored cars. Best to just avoid it entirely. Before anything else, let me quickly show the 2 support tank designs you should be using with your special forces. Tanks themselves should always be 36 with about half of the division made up of motorized, mechanized, or amphibious tractors, depending on what you can afford. The key with your support companies is to reduce terrain penalties as much as possible. Since terrain impact can now be minimized pretty effectively, heavy tanks are by far the best option. For a heavy tank design, you want a 3-man turret, 3 small cannons for a solid mix of hard and soft attack, the best radio available, and the best heavy cannon you can get. You'll also want to include an armor meme. That's 1 tank battalion with the highest possible armor value. This reduces the damage you take and increases the orc damage you deal. It makes a big difference. For the design sliders, max out engine and armor. On the bottom row, go for speed if you're expecting to fight under red air, or reliability if you are confident you'll have green air. Every nation that focuses on air, except for Japan and the US, should be using the standard improved fighters. The only real variation you'll usually need is adding 1 armor plate if you're using a good range-focused designer like Germany or Italy. This setup is especially strong for defensive air. Range designers are generally the best choice overall. In most cases, a fighter with 2 armor plates and a range designer will outtrade one with just a single armor plate and a standard designer. The US should focus on heavy fighters, while Japan should use carrier fighters equipped with a light machine gun instead of a heavy one. Your cast just needs a bit of range and either standard bomb blocks or heavy bomb blocks, if you've researched them. Strike bombers are simple, stack as much bombing as you can. Yep, and that's really all there is to it. Naval bombers should use the best torpedoes available. Never use floating boats, they are terrible. Stick with medium airframes for your standard naval bombers. These will still count as fighters, which will let you build bigger air wings and deal more damage to enemy fleets. It's also the most effective way to counter submarines. In general, the best ships to build are light cruisers, super heavy battleships, and carriers. For carriers, you want 5 of them, each with as much deck space as possible. Nothing else really matters there. For everything that isn't a carrier, you should prioritize armor wherever you can. On light cruisers, stack as much light attack as possible. For super heavy battleships, Go for a strong mix of heavy attack and anti-air. Super heavies are especially important when fighting under yellow or red air. They soak up huge amount of enemy naval bomber damage, which can be the difference between winning and getting wiped. That said, fighting under red air is usually a terrible idea. The truth is, the best fleet in the game is just thousands of naval bombers.